Hey guys, so I had another epiphany this morning, and I was really torn as to where to deliver this message, where to record it. And let me tell you why. This is one of those messages that should be spoken in an auditorium. This is one of those messages that should be on YouTube as a motivational video. This is just a profound message, and it's common sense, but I feel like if this particular message could be delivered in the proper way to the proper person or people or audience that would be willing to share it so it could go viral, my channel is not monetized, at least not at the time of recording this message, May 23rd, 2021, okay? So I have no monetary gain from recording this video or any of the videos thus far. But I just wanted to put it out there that this is one of those messages that will potentially change lives. So I'm just gonna dive right in, okay? So what if we were to talk about a few main topics, starting with the word pride relative to ego, okay? So this message is really for anybody that feels stuck, that feels like they aren't living to, their maximum potential, aren't living their dream, have no idea how to make their dreams come true, how to get from the point of where you are now over that mountain that looks like a mountain, like Mount Everest, over that hump, okay? This message is for people stuck in their ego. It's for people that have these dreams that, their fire, they know what their fire is inside of them and they just can't pull it out. Well, the fact is that every one of us is born absolutely perfect. What happens is, and I went over this in another video last year sometime, go through the YouTube channel, probably under R Squared Rediscovering You, okay? What happens is our parents give us all of their junk. And as we get older, our bright, beautiful light gets dimmer and darker and dimmer and darker as we take on all of the low vibrational people in our environment. Now, I'm sure your parents were wonderful people. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you were born, I don't care if you were the ugliest baby that ever existed, you were still beautiful. That beauty in you is the light that every person can see when they look at a newborn baby, okay? Every person can see it. And they might be thinking, shallow Hals especially, right? Oh God, what an ugly baby. But they know deep inside, buried behind their childish, selfish, shallow Hal comment that they're making to themselves about how ugly the baby is, that baby is beautiful. It's got light, right? And then as the baby grows up and gets older, the parents are literally throwing a bunch of shit on that baby's light, their own shit, okay? And it comes from generations and generations. Their parents threw their shit on your parents, and now you're throwing the shit on your kids. True story. This message is for them, or I should say you, okay? So when you are stuck in your ego, you face your fears, you experience the change you need, and I'm looking at my notes, yes. You experience the change that you need to make it through whatever you need to get through, so that you are able to have an intimate relationship with yourself before others, okay? An intimate relationship with yourself. In order for you to have an experience and feel that self-love that everyone keeps talking about, it's kind of cliche at this point, right? In order for you to really feel that, you have to get out of your ego, okay? And then if you get out of your ego, then you can dream and you're able to create the life that you want. You're able to use your energy like a little wand, sprinkling magic on all of the things that you love and that you're passionate about, right? And if you're able to get that far through releasing the ego so you can dream and be intimate with yourself and love yourself again, to even validate that your dreams are even worth pursuing, or that you are enough to capture your dream or go after your dreams, whatever it is, you have to have the faith that you can do it. You have to believe you can do it, right? Because I can dream about being a billionaire, but if I don't believe I can ever be one, or that I will ever be one, I suppose it's fair to say and safe to say I'll never be one, right? So if you can get to the point where you are starting to believe in yourself, which comes through self-love and getting out of that ego, because that ego is such a liar, okay? So if you're able to get to a position in your life where you can expect your dreams to come true, like not just think it into reality and then your ego creeps in and says, that's a pipe dream, baby. Like past that. If you can expect the karma that will come, good, bad, or indifferent, from being who you are and loving yourself and standing in alignment with your integrity, being the person that you are in your heart, not through all of your bad experiences and created such a toxic person in you today. I'm talking about that beautiful, perfect baby that you were. That is who you are. You are that beautiful ball of light. It's still you. It's just layered and buried underneath all of everybody else's shit, right? Everybody else's beliefs, everybody else's, take on life, everybody else's beliefs on money, everybody else's beliefs on what you can and can't be, whether you can graduate from college or you're smart enough or good looking enough or skinny enough or whatever it is, athletic enough, whatever your family has placed on you through any belief system they have. I don't care what it is, political, religious, whatever. You have allowed, not because you did it on purpose, but it's because we are programmed that way, but you have allowed other people, family or not, friends or not, bestie from second grade or not, you have allowed other people to cripple your faith. Just to cripple it. They've crippled it. It doesn't mean if you have enough strength to bring the faith back that you can't make it walk right on out of that darkness, right? So let's recap. If you are able to face your fear, realize that you will never experience the change that you need to make your dreams come true until you get really real and intimate with yourself about what it is that you want, about loving yourself, about enforcing the boundaries, about truly believing that you have already what is in you, whatever is in you, you already have what it takes to be that person and live that life that you've always known you are and that you've always wanted to be, right? If you take pride, your dreams, and add faith to it, put your little magic in there, sprinkle a little magic, you are then able to stand up and realize that the battles that are going on inside your head, inside your ego, are just an illusion. It's an illusion that will keep you from winning. It is a success blocker. That's what all those life coaches are out there yelling and screaming about. It's a success blocker, okay? If you are able to understand and accept the defeat that whatever you have allowed to take place from birth until now that kept you stuck was just an illusion. Even the defeat of the illusion is an illusion. It's kind of circular, but it's the truth, okay? I'm coming to you as a teacher of the truth. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to take a step further. What if you believed that life is all about seeing your own power inside of you? Your power, not your mom's power, not your best friend's power, not the rich guy's power, your power. What if life was about seeing your power? I'm not talking about your boss's power, whatever power, Power Rangers. I'm not talking about exterior power. I'm talking about what if your whole entire life purpose, the reason why you're here, every human being on the planet, is to realize, go through the life lessons, all of their bad, good, or indifferent experiences, painful trauma experiences, loss, heartache, financial disaster, whatever experiences it was. And I'm going to tell you, I've been through all of that. Okay. Which gives me my doctorate degree to be able to stand here or sit here and talk to you about it. All right. So life isn't a video game. Life is about seeing your own power inside of you, the power that was there the day you were conceived. What if you used your own free will to change the way you see yourself? If somebody down the street ran into you at the local bar and started gossiping to you about somebody they know, and then a half an hour later, that person walked into the bar, you would already have formed an idea. You would have framed an idea about that person, and you've never even met them. How do you know whether or not, as a child growing up through the stages of brain development, that you weren't handed that frame of who you are? Because I think you were. I think each and every one of us was handed a frame, and we were just supposed to accept it. Kind of like a video game CD-ROM. Isn't that sort of like living in the Matrix? Okay, I digress. It's not really my point. But if you could believe in that, you, whatever life, look around, look at your house, look at your family, look at your spouse, look at your children, look at your checking savings account, look at your business success or failure, look at where you are right now. If you don't have the life that you want, you are living somebody else's card. Somebody else's, what do they call that? A memory card? Their hard drive? You're living somebody else's hard drive in a video game that's not even yours. So just hit eject. Let's reboot. Okay. And use your own free will, the power inside of you, to create the life that you want. Now, I'm not saying I have the mansion, I have the money, I have the man, I have the family, I have none of that. I'm saying this was a revelation I had this morning. And what I'm doing from every single day from this morning forward is doing whatever little tiny baby steps are necessary to get me to that life, that card that's mine, because I'm authentic and I'm living in my true self. I'm not lying to myself about anything. I wake up, I go to work, I work until I'm too tired to hold my eyes open, and then I go back to sleep. And then I do it all over again every single day. Is that really the life I want? No. The life I want is living free of financial responsibility, just free, financially independent, and helping people. That's the life I want. I don't want to go to the grind every day. Although I am the type of person that cannot retire. I'll probably be doing this when I'm 90 if I live that long. Right? So if you knew and understood and really believed that you are the only person that can change your life. It's funny about that statement. You are the only person that can change your life. My mother, God rest her soul, I cry every single night in my sleep about the loss of my mother. Not because I feel bad, it's not guilt. But what I feel is she was living somebody else's card. That is the grief that we feel when somebody that we love passes away. We know that they had a light inside of them that never got out. That is why we grieve. Now, I am a certified grief counselor, so I can tell you that firsthand. We don't grieve because, sure, we miss them, right? But we grieve all of the light that was dimmed by other people. That is what causes the sadness in a loss. So, having said that, let's backtrack just a little bit. So, if you could change the way you see yourself through your own free will, the people that have hurt you, and the wisdom to separate the two, how you see yourself and how you see the people that have hurt you. If you can place discernment on the difference, here's what happens. And you can literally dissect it. Make a freaking list of all of the people that have hurt you, people that have taken from you, people that have taken what is not rightfully theirs: money, self-respect, abundance, reputation, love, peace, relationships. There are external people that have destroyed relationships in your life. Okay? Stolen your success, stolen your freedom. There are people locked up in jail that never committed a crime. There are people in abusive relationships right now that see no way out, and their spouse is so controlling, or their abuser is so controlling, they don't even have access to this video. They are in a box and they are stuck. Okay? So the people that have literally taken what is not rightfully theirs from you: money, self-respect, abundance, reputations, love, peace, relationships, success, freedom, joy. And some people have lost their life from other people that have taken it. They're no longer with us, right? So let's think about this war in our head and in our ego and our subconscious mind. This war that our pride is so profoundly protecting. Let's think about that for a minute. When we think about war, we think about the Army general, right? The greatest Army generals would have never, ever dreamed or fathomed forfeiting an entire war over a few lost battles, especially the battles that are just illusions. Okay, so let's talk about your path, the path that is meant for you, the path that is yours. Let's talk about that for a minute. Take your power back for your own path. You've clearly, whether you did it on purpose or not, willingly doing it or not, given your card away or allowed, accepted somebody else's card for your life to be ran on. It's like switching hard drives. Now you've got somebody else's hard drive in your computer, your video game console, your Xbox 360, right? So today, or the second you hear this video, or the second somebody shared it with you, think of all of the people, places, and things in your life, from addictions, substances, emotions, anger, pain, loss, sorrow, money, the pain and the loss and the sorrow from all of the money you have lost, if you've lost any, or all of the money and opportunities that you felt like somebody took from you, okay? All of the job opportunities, all of the bosses that wronged you in some way or another, all of the toxic environments that you've ever been in your life, every family member that has ever hurt you by misjudging you or expecting you to behave a certain way or expecting you to agree with them because it's their belief. All of the people in your life that have ever hurt you, all of the circumstances and events, all of the uncles, the aunts that violated your trust as a child, all of the cousins that misspoke negative things to you or in your environment, every single thing that has ever made you feel like a victim in your life, whatever it is. Whatever it is that has become the illusion in your ego, that's what we're honing in on. That experience from all time and all space, that experience of whatever it was that you went through. Maybe it was multiple things. Take your power back by choosing to believe that nobody has ever had the power to insert their card into your hard drive. Just eject it. I'm not saying you should ghost everybody that's ever hurt you. I'm saying if you have specifically enforced a boundary that these people, places, or things continuously violate, they need to be ejected. from your environment, from your life. Take your power back. It's already in you. Nobody has to give you the power. You have the light inside of you that you were born with. Other people dimmed it. It just so happens to be the way human beings were raised. We were somehow taught that that is normal to allow others to dim our light and that it's acceptable. It's socially acceptable behavior to dim other people's light. You ever wondered why? I see some brutal ass shit on social media, especially Facebook. I've been the victim of some brutal ass slander on Facebook. Me. Go back far enough in Facebook history and you will find it. Do I care? I don't care. It's been ejected. Their toxicity is their card. It's not my card. Whatever they believe about me will be their beliefs. They're entitled to their opinions. It's their belief. I have no right to judge them for their beliefs, just as much as they don't have a right to judge me for mine, right? So who are you? You watching this video, who are you? What is your inner child? Who is that inner child? What would you look like if you were able to remove all of the negative experiences from your memory? If you were just ejected, gone, erased, out of here, if you were able, literally able to say, I am not going to deny that these bad things happened to me. What I'm going to do is accept that I was meant to experience them. I was meant to be born in my family. I was meant to have my brother. I was meant to have my father. I was meant to have the friends that are not my friends. I was meant to go through all of that slander. I was meant to choose the wrong guy. I was meant to be hurt, to be taken from. Why? Why was I meant to go through all of that? I'm going to tell you a little story. And this isn't in my notes, okay? When I've been married and divorced 3 times, okay? Each marriage got worse. When I walked into the lawyer's office, my first divorce, my first husband, I was with him for 10 years, had my beautiful son with him, okay? High school sweethearts. I explained to this lawyer on my free consultation everything that he had put me through. Not in the 10 years we were together, just in the 1 year we were married. And he handed me a sticky note. Sticky note. Just like this. And he handed me an ink pen. And he said, write down these words. I'm like, okay, this is kind of awkward, but okay. This is what he told me to write. See that? Oh, it's backwards. I am not a doormat. Shortly thereafter, I was divorced. And then something else tragic happened to me. And I walked into a therapist's office, like a therapist. And I started spilling out everything that had happened to me since before my parents split up at age 7. And you know what she said? Oh my God. By now I'm probably 30. She said, I am a psychiatrist. I am a cognitive behavioral therapist. And I have had hundreds, not a few, hundreds of patients sit in that very seat that you're sitting in and have told me just one of the stories similar to what you have just told me. Not all of them, just one. And they were suicidal. I cannot, for the life of me, believe that I am looking at you in the flesh right now. That's borderline kind of, I don't know. I felt some kind of way. But that's just to give you an example of the life I had before I even hit age 30. Now I'm 47 at the day that I recorded this video, okay? By the time I was 38, I had another traumatic experience. And I went to go see another therapist. And the market had crashed. I'm a real estate agent at the time. Life was not going very well for me. And she said, do you know that you were abused by your father? That it's not your stepmother's responsibility to protect you? Yeah. She was a little inhumane for the pain that she caused you. She was young mom, not making excuses for her. But it was your father's responsibility. And I looked at her straight in her face and told her she was a liar, that I was daddy's little girl, and that my father would never hurt me. And I walked out. And then I had to stew on that for a minute, like a month, before it dawned on me that she was right. And I was literally playing out my father's card that I was not hurt. I was not abused. I was not expected to believe and think like him. I was not allowed to have my own opinion. I was not allowed to feel, to have emotions. I was not allowed to be who I am. I was not allowed to have a voice. You can't convince me that that didn't ring a bell for you or trigger you in any little tiny way. All of you, in any little tiny way. Something I said hit you in what I just said. And I didn't even go into any of my stories. So, who are you? What layers of bullshit are you carrying in your personality that aren't even yours? Surely you weren't born the asshole that hocks a loogie at a red light over road rage. You weren't born that guy, were you? I can't imagine that you were. You weren't born the guy that hurt you the last relationship you were in. You weren't born the woman that took from your man. You weren't born the woman that feels like they are entitled to every penny their man makes. You weren't born the mom or the dad that would agree with the idea in any way, shape, or form of alienating your own children from one of their parents. You weren't. You weren't born a narcissist. You weren't born an empath. You weren't born codependent. What layers of your onion aren't even yours? So your inner child is dark. It has darkness, layers and layers and layers of darkness that have been able to suffocate the light that you were born as. Okay? Light and darkness cannot exist in the same space. It is scientifically impossible for light to be anywhere that's dark. Okay? So we're born with a light that, and that's why even the ugliest babies are somehow beautiful. So if you are into science and physics and all that dorky stuff, that's really what is inside of you and you're really interested in it, I have a question for you. Imagine a cord. One person on one end is holding a cord, and there's another person 3 feet away holding the other end of the cord. You're vibrating it. What happens when something heavy is placed on the cord? The cord stops vibrating, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't even have to be in midair. If it's on the ground and something heavy is placed on it, or somebody steps on the cord that's vibrating, it stops vibrating. So what happens when a light in a room is suddenly void of power? It gets dark, right? Especially if it's nighttime. Speaking of nighttime, have you ever wondered why? Now this is like outside the box. Have you ever wondered why people celebrate sunset instead of sunrises? Our brains are literally programmed to celebrate in the dark, to celebrate in the darkness. Our brains are literally programmed. Imagine if Saturday night wasn't Saturday night. The bars were happening on Saturday morning. What happens if happy hour was 8 a.m.? What happens if we decided that we were not going to any longer celebrate the sunset, that we're going to celebrate the sunrise? How would that change our paradigm? How would that change our perspective on what we're supposed to be celebrating? Literally, if you see any devil dark energy on the internet, I don't care if it's porn, I don't care if it's gossip, I don't care if it's Facebook, somebody just blowing up somebody's reputation, I don't care what it is. Whenever you see darkness, people are drawn to it like it's the hot spot. You could go on social media of somebody being mean to somebody and there'll be 400 comments. But if somebody posts somebody, like I post all the time, something very, very inspirational. If somebody posts something inspirational, there might be 4 or 5 comments. You ever wondered why people celebrate in the darkness? Why are we programmed to celebrate the dark when we should be celebrating the light? Here's the answer. Our brains were never programmed to celebrate light. We run from it. We run from who we are. We run from our own light. We are ashamed of it. And as a result, our inner childs, our inner children, our inner child was never healed. Our light never got turned on. again. And we're walking around the planet in the dark. And our parents literally, subconsciously taught us that. So I'm going to do like a moment of silence. I want you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and literally visualize your sunrise. Visualize what it would be like to wake up in the morning with the only light in the room being yours. Visualize everyone that you love celebrating who you are, your light. As you celebrate with them, their light. And everybody is visualizing their own sunrise right now. What does it look like? If you were going to release all of the knives in your back, every freaking person that's ever hurt you, and you would let go of the illusion that the people that have hurt you did so on purpose, because they didn't. Let go of any fears that you have that somehow were planted in your psyche, in your subconscious mind. Let go of those fears too. Let go of any fear that you might have that you would lose anything by choosing to make yourself happy, to be who you are, to be authentic and true, to live in your truest self, and to celebrate your sunrise, your light. What does that look like? Let go of that illusion that you are a victim, because you're not. The blockages, the stuckness, the I can'ts, the I'm not good enoughs. Even better, what about the illusion that you might hurt someone else if you chose to be you and live the life that you were meant to live with the passion inside of you that you know is sitting there burning and idle to do what you were born to do. You were born to walk this planet and do something huge. You weren't born to be mediocre, idle, stagnant, boring, monotone, black and white. You weren't born to be dark. So if you knew that by choosing yourself, you wouldn't actually hurt the person or people that you feared hurting by choosing you, would you choose you? Because it's just an illusion. I'm not talking about selfishness. I already knew what you were thinking. I'm talking about compromising with the people in your environment by letting them know how important it is to you that you do this thing, or you have that life, or that you make the changes necessary in your life to be this person that you've always wanted to be, that you were born to be. And you no longer fear what they'll think of you by making those changes. So I'm going to put it all in a nutshell for you. Are you ready? So if you were to decide to make the changes right now, to change whatever circumstances, people, events, environments, whatever in your life, make all of the changes, make a list of the changes that you need to do right now that will ultimately change your vibration so that you can heal your inner child, so that you can see the path that's yours, so that you can change your vibration, so that you can take your power back, so that you can change your vibration, so that you can see your own light burning so passionately inside of you, so that you can change your vibration, so that you can experience the change necessary, make the changes necessary to experience intimacy required to love yourself. Intimacy with yourself required for you to love yourself. Unconditional love of self and others so that you can change your vibration, so that you can step away from the pride and the ego that keeps you from releasing the fears that stop you from having the faith needed to believe in yourself enough that you even have the magic inside of you to bring out your passion and to be who you really are. So that you can and you will bring about into your own life the greatest goddamn army general that ever walked the planet. To be the king or queen or goddess you really are. So that you can vibrate high enough to win the goddamn war. Who are you? You see, I already know what you're thinking and feeling right now, right this second. That little voice inside your head, which I'll refer to as the ego. It's loud AF. And it's saying, you can't do what she said to do. And the lie that it's telling you, the pain of what you'll lose will make you vulnerable. And you can't risk that right now. Just tell it to shut up. That was my message. And I really feel like it would be so much more powerful if it was just said on a stage somewhere. I hope that it gets to the ears of the people on this planet that need to hear it, which is probably everybody. I'm Seanna Smallwood. Thank you for watching my video that I was so passionately excited to bring you, because it's who I am. Until next time.